A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle.
Sheryl Swoopes is absolutely losing it. She stood tall, puffed out her chest, and declared with full confidence that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever couldn't land top free agents. Fast forward to now, and guess what? Indiana just pulled off one of the best free agency runs we've seen in the history of the league. They didn't just sign role players. They secured elite veterans, championship-caliber talents, and playmakers who will elevate this franchise to a whole new level. Meanwhile, Sheryl's out here looking like the human version of a broken Magic 8-ball, all wrong, all the time. Somebody check on her, because it's clear Indiana just snatched her last ounce of credibility. Maybe she should start consulting an actual Magic 8-ball for better predictions, because her basketball analysis is running on fumes. People in the Fever were like, "Yo, why?" That's not my point. There's a lot of other things going on that make players say, "This ain't where I want to be." Over there? Yeah. There's something new going around. It's a lot. The energy in Indiana has shifted dramatically, and it's not just hype, it's real. You have players who are very significant on this Indiana Fever team saying, "I want this. This is where I want to be." That's the mark of a true contender.
She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
The Fever have built an environment that players are drawn to where they see potential for growth, success, and the chance to make history. And history is exactly what's happening in Indiana right now. Let's rewind. Sheryl Swoopes, Hall of Famer, legend of the game? Sure. But these days, she's just clocking in as a full-time hater with overtime hours. Ms. I've Seen It All loudly proclaimed that the Fever would never attract top-tier talent because of locker room issues. And yet, here we are. Not only did Indiana secure elite players, but they did so effortlessly. The contracts are signed, the ink is dry, and Indiana just built a super team while Sheryl sits on the sidelines with egg on her face, probably drafting her next bad take. And let's be real, this isn't the first time she's been off the mark. The receipts are piling up. And at this point, she might as well just mute all things Indiana Fever before she embarrasses herself further. Stephanie White came in and said, "Okay, hold up. Let me go to Indeed.com," and Indeed got some free agents who want to play, who are accomplished, seasoned veterans. She did all that while Sheryl's been nowhere to be found. White knew exactly what pieces the Fever needed and executed flawlessly. She didn't just add random talent. She brought in proven winners, competitors with championship DNA, and players who thrive under pressure. Sheryl's got a lot of crow to eat, folks. She could be choking on crow right now. She needs the Heimlich maneuver. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, tell her it's okay to come out and admit she was wrong. Seriously.
Went even further when a game that Sheryl Swoopes was calling for the Dallas Wings, where the commentator was talking about how great Caitlin Clark had been playing. Sheryl Swoopes, silent for 60 seconds.
There's no shame in admitting defeat. Just own up to it and move on. But we all know she won't. I can picture Sheryl scrolling through her phone like, no way these players picked Indiana. But surprise, Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and even Aya Wilson's best friend Sydney Colson are all in. This isn't just a stacked roster, it's a powerhouse squad built to dominate. The Fever didn't just win free agency, they absolutely cooked it. And they're not done. The momentum is only growing, and other teams should be worried. What Indiana has built is not just a moment, it's a movement. They are here to stay, and the league better get used to seeing them at the top. And when Colson was asked why she signed with Indiana, let's roll the footage. Yeah, I talked to Sydney Colson today about her signing with Indiana. She said Kelsey Mitchell was actually the first person she hit up because they built a bond playing AU for the last 3 years. She also heard some good things about Caitlin Clark from her Aces teammate Kate Martin, which made the decision easy. That's right. She wanted to play with Kelsey Mitchell, a close friend, and the phenom herself, Caitlin Clark. These were the exact two players Swoopes targeted a few months back. The irony is almost too good.
It's going to be Caitlin Clark flash show. So it's going to be phenomenal playing with a point guard, like you said, that have a good vision.
Swoopes doubted the very players who are now making Indiana the most attractive destination in the league. It's poetic justice at its finest. Here's the twist. This is the same Sheryl Swoopes who claimed Caitlin Clark would need years to adjust to the WNBA. Years? Really? Clark's out here dropping 40 like it's casual cardio, while Sheryl's predictions age like fine milk. We're not even halfway through her rookie season, and she's already rewriting the record books. The adjustment period that Sheryl predicted? Non-existent. Caitlin Clark was born ready for this moment, and the way she's elevating the fever proves it. The doubters look foolish, and Sheryl is leading that pack. 3 WNBA MVPs in your career, Sheryl. Would you consider each of those 3 seasons dominant? No, I can't, bro. Sheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even admits that Caitlin is dominant. At this point, hating on Caitlin Clark feels like an Olympic sport, and Sheryl Swoopes is going for the gold. In fact, she's probably sweeping the podium, gold, silver, and bronze, standing there looking salty while the national anthem plays in the background. It's not a good look, but hey, commitment to the bit, I guess. Oh, Caitlin won't translate to the WNBA. Yeah, tell that to Indiana, who's out here collecting elite talent like they're assembling the Avengers. Caitlin Clark isn't just adjusting, she's thriving. And the Fever? They're thriving right along with her. Sheryl Swoopes might want to sit this one out because Indiana just put her in her place again. The league is shifting, and Indiana is leading the charge. What's happening in this organization isn't a fluke, it's the new standard. And let's pause for a second to appreciate that the Indiana Fever, yes, the team that was treated like a WNBA afterthought, is now the center of the basketball universe. The previous doormat of the league is now the team everyone wants to play for. Talk about moving the needle. No, scratch that. Caitlin Clark doesn't move the needle. She is the needle. And if people can't see that yet, they're either in denial or just flat out refusing to accept reality. So, Sheryl, what happened to players don't want to go to Indiana? Who exactly were you talking to? The ghosts of teams past? Because real players who matter, are signing with the Fever like it's the VIP section at an exclusive club. The landscape of the WNBA has changed, and Sheryl's outdated takes are getting left behind. It's a new era, and Indiana is leading the charge. The Fever aren't just participating, they're dominating. And if Sheryl Swoopes still doesn't see it, someone better pass her some eyeglasses, because maybe she's not even talking about the Fever. Maybe she's talking about the Las Vegas Aces or the Chicago Sky or the Connecticut Sun, who are all imploding before our very eyes. Caitlin Clark isn't just the future of the WNBA, she's the present. She's already the face of the league, and she's about to dominate it like it owes her money. The Indiana Fever are coming for that title, and if you don't like it, get comfortable, because this is just the beginning. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the Indiana Fever's rise and the absolute chaos surrounding Caitlin Clark's impact on the league, then you're going to love what's coming next. We're bringing you the hottest takes, the realest analysis, and the kind of basketball talk that cuts through the noise. So don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay locked in. This is just the beginning of a new era in the WNBA, and you'll want a front row seat for all of it. Join the squad, and let's ride this wave together.